Hello, everyone. I'm here to share one channeled message for meditation. It was a spirit animal, actually. And I am also going to tap into some cards, I think. We'll see. So, if you are here, this might be for you. However, if it does not fit, do not force it. Take only what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, okay, okay. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I got the jellyfish a few days ago during meditation. It just took me a while to get to the interpretations and whatnot, the research on the jellyfish. So, overall, the jellyfish is a symbol of it's the power of flow, of being in flow, of rolling with the punches, so to say. Okay. The jellyfish is the call to, or it calls you to allow yourself to be carried through life without resistance. Okay. Without resistance to the ups and the downs, to the waves of life, if you will, to the waves within yourself, like internally and externally. When you release the urge to control the uncertainty, the unknown, what you have not yet explored, in your life, and release the weight of surplus. You release the weight of baggage. You release the weight of surplus is just excess, okay? Excess, whatever that might be, excess thought, excess emotion, excess things in your physical reality. When you release this urge to control and you release this surplus, reality becomes more of an effortless experience, okay? It's the simplicity kind of thing. It's an element of simplicity when you tap into flow, when you allow yourself to be moved by life instead of trying to move life in the way that you feel is best fit for you. Okay. Now, the jellyfish can sometimes be a symbol of protection, of defense of the loved ones. Okay. So I feel this may be where the desire to control, or the urge to control, may come from. It's a protection kind of method here. But you're being guided with the jellyfish to release this, that whatever kind of situation or phase in your life that you're in a phase of being protected. You're in a phase of softness. Okay, the jellyfish is very soft and squishy. If anyone's ever been on the beach, you ever been on the beach and you step on something like gooey, it's jellyfish. You can pick it up. It's really gooey. It's kind of nasty, but yeah, they're very soft. They're very squishy. 1 second. When the jellyfish appears, it is guidance to find your calm and be flexible when it is time to adapt to change in a state of chaos, okay? Especially here with the jellyfish, emotional chaos, considering it is an animal that lives in the ocean. So you may be going through a period right now that can be a little chaotic emotionally, or feels as though it is, whether it's a situation that's cropped up or it's a phase in your life that you're going through. It is Mercury retrograde, so, it is, I'm hearing tearing up, but that feels really aggressive. Maybe for some of you that's how it is. Maybe that is the state of chaos, is that it feels aggressive, what's being torn up from, repression. Whatever's been repressed, okay, is being brought to the surface here to deal with. And it may be through maybe some sort of chaotic emotional situation, or chaotic emotional triggering, okay? But the jellyfish, when it appears, it's to guide you through this change, through adaptation, to being flexible with your emotions, okay? Being flexible with your mindset as well. The jellyfish is associated with zodiacs Cancer and Libra. So I'll get into those a little bit later, but they're both about adaptability. Just one is flexibility and emotion, and one is functionality and one's fluidity and emotion. One is functionality and flexibility within the mind when it comes to the emotions, okay? That balance that Libra likes to bring. Okay, so it's a sign, the jellyfish totem is a sign that your emotions may be causing you some sort of stress right now. And because of that, your perception of problems could be heightened. It might be expanding in a way that you may be creating illusion or issue or trouble where it may not be, okay? Where it may not truly be there, okay? And because it is Mercury retrograde, it's understandable that triggers are being brought up at this time. It's understandable that fears and it's definitely a fear-based thing here. Fear cropping up because of whatever may be coming up from inside of you. So be easy on yourself, okay? But this fear that's cropping up may cause you to want to make knee-jerk reactions or take knee-jerk reactions during this time. Mercury retrograde is as well as we have Mars in is Mars in retrograde as well? I know it was Mars in Leo. Is it in retrograde now? There's something to do with Mars going on, okay? And the Mars is the planet of passions and aggressions. It's about action and movement. Yeah, I do believe it's in retrograde. Okay, so there's like you're being, and with it being retrograde, with Mercury retrograde, it's like there's guidance, right? Not guidance, sorry. It's like the universe is kind of putting you through a phase where you are analyzing and reflecting upon the ways that you communicate and the ways that you take action. So it could feel a little volatile, a little aggressive, a little unsafe right now because you're being pushed to create new ways of handling your Mars energy, your action-oriented energy, your maybe competitive energies, or if you're in a more masculine kind of state, or your passion, the way that you handle your passion, the way that you react to passionate communication, the way that you react to passionate triggers that are coming up at this time. There's an elder bug on my ceiling. I don't know how he's kicking it. It's been cold and snowy for a while. I don't know how he got in here. He hasn't been here. He just popped up today. Resilience. Oh, okay. That's really cool. Elderbug is a symbol of resilience, and jellyfish is as well because of its adaptability. All right, so there's something that you're being guided to be resilient throughout, having, and I believe this is in the emotional realm, having emotional strength throughout some sort of what feels like emotional chaos or stress, okay? Because, again, fear might be cropping up, and this may cause knee-jerk reactions. So the jellyfish really wants to warn you of these fears, and is urging you to release your rigidity. Okay, to stop being stubborn and to compromise with the change that's being presented in your life, so that you may take on this change and adapt to it in new ways that you haven't before. And I do advise you to listen to this advice of the jellyfish, okay? To release these burdens and to face these fears, to be aware of these fears that are coming up. Because if you don't have this awareness, again, Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, there is going to be some sort of knee-jerk reaction. Take it from me personally, I had that happen, and it caused more emotional stress, okay? So just be aware of what is coming up for you, of what triggers, what wounds, what baggage from the past is coming up, okay? Because you are in a phase that is calling for more softness. You're going to have situations that are coming up right now to teach you how to deal with your emotions in a new way, how to react to your emotions or communicate with your emotions in a different way, okay? You're going to be taught in some way. You're going to be taught in some way here through these situations how to alter your typical response to emotional stress. Your reactions, those emotional triggers that are going on, and you will find your way and yourself through the illusions as you alter your perception of your fears and your traumas, the baggage, the wounds that are coming up right now. Okay. Um, Sorry. There's a guidance. There's a guidance to be accepting of fact and truth, okay? And this will lessen your resistance to the waves of life and emotion. To focus on, what's being presented in front of you, and to not allow the fears, again, to cause unnecessary or false troubles or issues, problems within your life, okay? The jellyfish is a big symbol of acceptance. That's the only way that we can really flow through life, is by accepting what comes. Accepting what comes and what goes. And I'm going to throw in here, personally, I'm very comfortable with the release and with the letting go, typically. It's the acceptance of the new. It's the acceptance of emotional change out of the comfort zone. That's complicated for me personally. And it's a lot easier to accept the things that are going than the things that are coming. I'm not sure why I felt drawn to share that. So that must have been a message here for someone. Maybe you're the same type of way. So you're being guided here to lessen your resistance to incoming emotion, especially. And to be adaptive to whatever waves are coming in, ups and downs, light and dark. There's some sort of need to find balance within right now so that you may handle the external with greater balance, okay? My throat is itching for some reason. Okay, so throughout this Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, some of you could be experiencing some form of wake-up call that is placing you in a very sensitive state. The jellyfish is, again, very soft, very squishy. It doesn't have like a hard protective shell. It just has layers of squish, right? You could definitely be in a sensitive state. Now, that's not going to be for all of you, but for some of you, okay? Especially if you are, like me, a little less inclined to the change of emotions in your emotional realm or in your internal world, okay? Jellyfish calls for you to have faith in your own regenerative and transformational abilities, okay? In your ability to go through tense emotions or some sort of chaotic internal thing and shift with it, okay? Shape shift and change so that you may come through in a new state, so that you may alter your typical reactions, okay? And this is through your awareness of the beauty around you, okay? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I'm being drawn here to the difference between a flower and a... You're not going to be able to read it. The difference between a flower and a weed is judgment, okay? This is the only one I keep. It's from a tea bag, but it's the one I keep here because it's very important to understand that the world is what you make it, okay? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and fears are a good blockage, obstacle to the beauty of life, to the beauty of emotions, to the beauty of softness, okay? Of vulnerability and self-expression. To not judge the self and to not judge the external, but to see the beauty within all, allows for greater grace and ease when it comes to emotion and transparency, okay? So right now, when you're in this sensitive state, you're being guided to be present with your loved ones without attachment to outcome, okay? Because of the rough waters, we'll say, with Mars in retrograde and Mercury in retrograde, there's some roughness, there's change, there's vulnerability, there's maybe with Mars in retrograde here, or if it is Mars in Leo, I don't know if it's retrograde in Leo. I don't know if it's Mars in Leo without the retrograde. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I've been looking at it and I can't think of it right now. There could be some forms of aggression within or without, or from the external, or some sort of, and it's like a weight. It's the aggression of like how quickly emotions or baggage or certain feelings or wounds may be coming up to the surface. This can be very, I just heard jolting. Okay, shocking, like it's like a jolt to the system. It's an electric kind of sensation. Jellyfish sting, that reminds me of an electric sensation. Okay, something could have stung recently, or something could be stinging, or there is a warning here that something could sting. Okay, so this is why you're being guided to be present, to be as present as you can, getting out of the head, that mental space that's bringing up the fears, the troubles, problems, issues that may not exactly be there. Okay, jellyfish are very transparent, and some even more so than others. And this is a message to let others see you, let others see into you, to not be afraid of vulnerability and authentically expressing yourself, okay, during this phase. Because the more that you mask, and this is, I mean, all the time, the more that you mask, the less that others are going to be able to see what you are truly trying to express, okay? But especially during this phase, with the jellyfish totem coming up, it is extremely important to allow others to see into you and not be afraid of that vulnerability. Okay, vulnerability is a strength in truth for the jellyfish totem. Withholding your vulnerabilities, withholding your authentic truth, withholding parts of yourself out of fear causes damage. Okay. I really wish I channeled this jellyfish a few days ago, and I really wish I would have looked at it that day. I really wish I would have researched it that day, because all of this would have helped me a whole hell of a lot. I'm laughing because it hurts. The jellyfish is very soft. Okay, the jelly is very soft, very squishy, and weight can be life-threatening to a jellyfish. Putting too much weight on a jellyfish, it can squish the jellyfish, right? So this guides me to say that you're being guided to handle things in your life right now, handle connections, handle yourself, especially if you're that soft, squishy thing. But it's everything. It's not just the self, it's everything. All the soft and delicate things in your life, handling them with care, handling them with grace and with openness, okay? Have courage in this act of love, because that's truly what it is. When you handle soft things with grace, with vulnerability, this allows for those soft things to flourish. When you put weight into it, when you allow the fears to drop onto it, when you allow baggage to be dropped onto something so soft, it's life-threatening. It's very damaging. It can destroy something that is very soft, whether that's self-destruction or destroying of some sort of external situation, okay, or connection. So handle the things in your life with softness. Or face the consequences. Have courage, okay? With this totem, you might be a person that wears your emotions on your vessel, okay? On your face, on your body. You might be very physically expressive without your awareness, okay? And most people are. Most people aren't aware of the ways in which they're expressing their internal world on their physical body. All right, which makes it hard to hide. So there is no use in masking your insides, in masking what's going on within you, especially during this time. Again, you're being asked to allow yourself to be seen so that your true authenticity may be more understood, so that you may be seen for who you are, for what your true intentions are, okay? Not allowing whatever fears might be cropping up, whatever emotional stress might be coming with this change to block you off from something that could be quite beautiful. Okay, the jellyfish is a symbol of beauty, as well with the Libra being one of its signs. I like how I hold that up as if you can see that I have Libra written in this tiny text. But Libra is ruled by Venus. This is a planet of beauty and of expression, of authenticity, of love, of light. Okay, so not allowing yourself to be open with soft things can really cause a blockage, an obstacle, a burden upon something that could, again, be very beautiful for you. Um, where was I at? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Allow yourself to be seen by your loved ones or by those coming into your life, okay? So that, again, your intentions and your authenticity can be seen. So you can be seen for who you truly are. Allow yourself to be seen. I know that can be scary for a lot of people. I know that can be scary for those who aren't the most comfortable with emotional chaos, okay? You could be very emotionally stable or balanced, and when something new or something disruptive or something that's kind of I don't want to say chaotic, but it's like a shock, okay? It's that jolt of lightning. It's sudden. This can be very this can stir the waters, okay? This can cause bigger waves. And so if you are a person that already if you already are this person that shares your true authenticity, that tries to be as open as possible, um, yeah, know that others admire this quality. Others admire your ability to be so open. Truly, there's a great admiration for your ability to be so open with your emotions. It is a strength of yours. It's a big strength of yours. Without knowing, you teach others how to handle their emotions in more beneficial or effective ways. You teach others how to be more soft with their own emotions, how to give more understanding to their emotions, how to give more space to their emotions, okay, how to feel more safe in being open with their emotions. It's very courageous being able to share in this open way, being able to be vulnerable in this way. It's a strength. It is courageous, and don't let anyone tell you differently, okay? Because you are open and sensitive, though, whether right now or always, okay, there's a need to protect your emotional boundaries and develop your mindset and your convictions, especially around your emotions, your convictions and your mindset around emotion, so as to not be influenced by the weight of taking on external input, okay, external input on your emotions. Again, this is weight of others, maybe opinions or their own baggage, okay, their own wounds or something like that. Don't take on that weight, okay, because this can weigh you down, this can bog you down, and this can put you in a lower vibration. All right, so make sure that you are protecting and strengthening your emotional boundaries and your emotional convictions, the mindset you have of your own personal emotions, okay? Tap into your extra senses, okay, your extrasensory abilities and your connection with the beyond, with the Most High, with that which is unseen, okay, energy. Tap into that right now. That's going to be very beneficial for moving through the world right now. Through moving through this phase of some sort of emotional stress or emotional chaos or the aggression of the ripping up of old shit, okay, from what's been repressed. Tapping into the beyond and your extra senses will allow you to receive messages about this phase, okay, about this current I'll just say stress. I'll just put the word stress there again, okay? Take these connections with your extrasensory abilities. Take these connections with the Most High or with the beyond, with energy. Take your energetic connection more seriously. These things will guide you through the waves in a more graceful way, okay? It will allow you to be more fluid. And that leads me to, lastly, and most importantly, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, Lastly, the jellyfish teaches self-care, self-love, and self-forgiveness. Now, this is the most, to me personally, this is the most important aspect of a fulfilling life, of a life that doesn't feel void, of a life that doesn't feel chaotic, is tempering the self, loving the self, taking care of the self, forgiving the self for that which you have been through, for that which you have done, for that which you have allowed, okay, whatever it may be. To really treat yourself well amongst loss of loved ones, loss of maybe a job, loss of your attention, okay, like distraction from your path or your passions or a project, to be very gentle with yourself amongst these kinds of losses or these distractions, all right? It is time right now to reclaim your sense of self through this emotional chaos. Again, with the Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, this is a time that you are going to be adapting your emotional responses. It's a time that you're going to be altering the typical way that you respond to things, okay? And this is going to allow you to reclaim that sense of self through implementing a new way of approach, a new way of feeling, okay? And this new implementation is going to purify your spirit of this loss, okay? It might not be right away, of course. Things take time. But it's going to really purify your spirit of losses. And in doing so, you're going to regain a sense of self-worth that may be a little shaky or a little lacking right now as you've gone through some sort of loss or some sort of distractions or some sort of emotional stress, okay? Remove mental distractions in order to return to your own natural patterns on your current mission. Okay? Once you're going through this process of reclaiming yourself and your sense of self-worth and purifying your spirit of whatever it is that you may have lost, once you're moving through this, you're going to be able to better remove the mental distractions. And the mental distractions that's coming through here with the jellyfish is fears, is external weight, is illusions of problems, issues, and troubles that aren't truly there. Okay, these are the things that are distracting you mentally from your emotional clarity. Okay, and the question that comes with the jellyfish is, are you fighting against the flow? Are you resisting the waves? Are you resisting change? Are you resisting certain emotions? Certain emotional processes, certain emotional connections, certain emotional self-care? Is there something to do with the emotional realm or the internal world, okay, the depths within that aren't as visibly seen on the outside? Are you fighting against some sort of change in that area or some sort of